I want you to forget the arbitrary milestones you see on social media. Forget the sudden crypto millionaires and the trust fund kids. The conversation about wealth building is usually framed as a sprint, requiring decades of grinding, stress, and most cruelly, luck. But I'm here to tell you that this perspective is not only fundamentally incorrect, it's mathematically designed to sabotage your success before you even start. There's a specific number, a true financial tipping point, where the rules of the game fundamentally change. It's the moment the physics of finance shift entirely in your favor. It's where your savings shift from a painful, willpower-driven obligation to an unstoppable self-sustaining growth engine. That number is $20,000. My name is Corbin, and this is Corbin Wealth. If you've ever wondered why the first year of saving feels impossible and the 10th year feels almost automatic, you need to understand the physics and the psychology of this tipping point. Hit the subscribe button because we are diving deep into the 4 major mechanisms that unlock at this magic number and why they are rarely discussed by mainstream gurus. Mechanism: the scarcity mindset break in cognitive liberation. When your reserves are low, below that $20,000 threshold, your brain's prefrontal cortex, which is your logical long-term planning center, is effectively shut down, entering a state of chronic defensive posture. This is not some character flaw or failure of willpower, but rather a primal evolutionary hardwire known as the scarcity trap, a psychological mechanism proven by Nobel Prize-winning behavioral economists. This scarcity trap confirms that chronic financial anxiety imposes a significant cognitive tax, literally draining the mental bandwidth, the processing power you need for complex, high-return tasks like deep investment research, negotiation strategies, or learning a new skill, because those resources are constantly diverted to low-value, high-stress survival calculations. The continuous stress of perpetually questioning every small transaction, agonizing over whether to buy generic or name-brand products, debating if you can afford to accept a social invitation, or panicking over the inevitable car repair bill results in crippling decision fatigue, leading to poor judgment and, ironically, often greater impulsive spending as a temporary escape from the constant mental strain. The $20,000 buffer creates a cognitive safety margin, a literal neurological shift confirmed by studies showing that a solid emergency fund reduces the constant, damaging release of cortisol, the stress hormone, allowing your brain to finally stop consuming resources on the perpetual fear of, what if my financial reality collapses? Because the answer, $20,000 in liquid capital, is already secured. This shift causes the fear to shrink and the rational, strategic planning center of your brain to fully re-engage, flipping the script from the reactive state of, how do I survive until next paycheck, to the powerful, proactive wealth-building question, how can I strategically deploy this capital for maximum growth, and where are the best asymmetrical opportunities to deploy it? This mental freedom is fundamentally more valuable than the money itself because it enables future higher-order financial decisions. Mechanism 2, the physics of exponential growth and the flywheel effect. Let's dive into the cold, hard mathematics of why $20,000 is the minimum critical threshold for genuine financial acceleration, where the dynamics shift from linear addition to exponential multiplication. We are exclusively focused on compound growth, where your capital's returns, not just your personal contributions, begin generating their own returns, thereby creating a powerful, self-propelling flywheel effect. If we assume a disciplined investor is committing a consistent $1,000 every single month and prudently earning an 8% annual gross return on a diversified low-cost portfolio, an entirely achievable and realistic long-term market average, the arduous journey from absolute zero to your first $20,000 represents the phase of pure, unassisted labor, requiring approximately 19 consecutive months of dedicated, unyielding input. This phase is precisely the period of heavy lifting and delayed gratification that systematically discourages and filters out approximately 90% of aspiring wealth builders. However, the moment the capital hits the $20,000 mark, the mechanics instantly change. The subsequent journey from $20,000 to the next milestone of $40,000, a doubling of the initial achievement, demands the exact same physical effort and the exact same monthly contribution, yet astonishingly, only requires about 17 months, effectively shaving 2 full months off the timeline. This 2-month reduction is pure, unadulterated growth, generated solely by the capital base working on your behalf, providing the first tangible, indisputable proof that your personal willpower and labor are being actively augmented by the physics of the market itself. This is the core mechanic of the tipping point. This acceleration, which is barely noticeable in the first year, becomes dramatically apparent as the portfolio scales, meaning the journey from $40,000 to $60,000 will be even faster, perhaps taking only 15 months, leading to the ultimate conclusion that by the time you are aiming for $200,000, your capital is generating returns equivalent to several months of your entire salary, demonstrating that your returns are now the ones doing the heavy lifting, a profound reversal of the financial power dynamic. Mechanism 3, the strategic advantage. The $20,000 buffer creates what I term the option multiplier effect, a concept rooted in strategic bargaining and game theory. Before this crucial point, your existential options were tragically limited, often simplifying to 1. Endure the toxic or low-paying job out of fear, 2. Passively hope for external circumstances to improve, or 3. Resign yourself to accepting the first lowball offer that comes along. However, after the $20,000 is secured, your options expand geometrically, fundamentally because you have acquired time as an immediately deployable asset, allowing you to convert financial capital into temporal flexibility, which is the most valuable commodity in the modern economy. This newfound power is not merely financial. It is the purchase of dignity. Imagine the scenario of being trapped in a toxic workplace where the manager is actively exploiting your financial fragility. The person with zero savings is forced to stay and accept degradation. But the person who has secured $20,000 can confidently say, "No, my value is non-negotiable, and I'll walk away." A single, powerful shift that grants you negotiating power that a $10,000 annual raise alone can never buy, because true power lies in the ability to walk away from the table. Furthermore, this freedom allows you to take calculated, intelligent risks. You can finally invest $3,000 in that high-value certification or take a sabbatical to launch your startup, knowing that the downside is contained within that $20,000 safety margin. You are betting on yourself, and that confidence is magnetic. Mechanism 4, the final trap. Here is the brutal, often unspoken truth that systematically annihilates most people's hard-won momentum. They immediately see the $20,000 as an external reward or a permission slip to relax their discipline. They confuse financial security with financial freedom and fall for the "I deserved it" trap. They use the money for a down payment on a flashy car or finance new furniture because the relentless marketing machine told them they earned it. You haven't changed the system. You've just swapped a high-drag financial weight, new installment payments, for the old one. The true mission of the Corbin formula is to eliminate unnecessary payments and redirect that money, the full force of your previous struggle, and turn it into powerful fuel for your investment portfolio. This is the foundation of compound wealth. When you hit $20,000 and maintain discipline, you transform from a financial consumer and reactor into a financial owner, producer, and designer. You are no longer reacting to sudden crises. You are actively designing your life, your net worth, and your future. This is the difference between playing financial defense and leading the financial offense. This tipping point is your most critical victory. It validates your discipline, proves the math works, and unlocks your brain's full strategic potential. Don't waste this hard-earned momentum on consumption. Preserve the flywheel. The continuous effort is your only job now. Ask yourself now, are you still pushing the boulder, struggling for every single dollar, or are you ready for the gravity flip? The mathematical and psychological mechanisms are now in place to make your money work harder than you do. The choice and the continuous, ruthless effort are yours.